Have you ever felt that your heart beats faster and your head starts to spin when you're faced with a situation where you're talking to new people? You're not alone. It's incredibly common, and I see so many clients, particularly post-COVID, who struggle with social anxiety. And in this video, I'm going to show you some really powerful techniques to how to overcome social anxiety quickly and easily, so stay tuned. I'm Elise Clayton, RTT therapist and coach, and I have a passion for helping people overcome social anxiety because I was that socially anxious person at one point in my life. I struggled in social situations, I struggled to meet new people. If I had to present in front of anyone for work, it filled me with absolute terror. But here I am now, speaking to you on camera, feeling confident and feeling free. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. Stay tuned. So social anxiety is this overwhelming fear of being in social situations. So if you struggled with this, you might feel symptoms like your palms sweating or your heart racing. And if, like me, it was so bad that actually I would faint. I would actually faint because I felt so lightheaded. But please don't feel alone in this because you're absolutely not. Since COVID in particular, I've seen so many clients who struggle with social anxiety, getting back into the swing of getting out there. And it doesn't necessarily have to be new people. It can be with people that you know already, but you're in a new environment, which triggers this anxiety. So please don't feel like you're alone. Now stay with me, because what we're going to do is we're going to look at how our thinking affects our actions when we're anxious. So here are 3 tools that are really going to help us. So breathing. If you start to feel anxious in a social situation, be mindful about your breath, because that brings you back into the moment. If you're kind of on your own and you've just escaped away to the toilet maybe, just put your hand on your stomach, just focus on your breath. Or if you're in the moment in that social situation, instead, obviously you don't want to be stood there with your hand on your stomach, but just count your breaths when you're breathing in. 1, 2, 3. And when you're breathing out, 1, 2, 3. And just focus on that counting, because you'll find that it takes you out of anxiety and back into the moment. The next is positive self-talk. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm a nervous wreck, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to go and you are going to be a nervous wreck. So flip that. Let's be, no, I'm going to be strong and I'm going to be confident. I'm really confident in this moment. Just keep telling yourself, trick your mind into thinking it, because the more you tell your mind something, the more it accepts it as truth. So tell it good things. And thirdly is face the fear and do it anyway. And while this might sound scary, don't think of big leaps. Think of small steps, small little shifts which are going to help you overcome this anxiety. So the first technique is mindful breathing. And this is all about controlling your breathing to move you away from anxiety. So now I'm going to walk you through a breathing exercise. So what I want you to do is just place one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach. And I want you to take a nice big deep breath in. And as you take that deep breath in, just feel how your chest and your stomach expands. And then as you breathe out, just feel how it compresses in again. And just repeat that for at least 5 times. So breathe in and breathe out. Just focusing on those sensations and nothing else apart from your breath. But of course, if you're in a social situation or if you're out and about, you don't want to be stood there with your hand on your chest and your hand on your stomach. So another technique that you can use for this is to actually count your breaths. So breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 3. And blow out the air when you're breathing out and feel every sensation. So breathe in for 3. And breathe out for 3. And again, repeat this at least 5 times or as many times as you need to feel calm again and in control. Here's another great technique for battling social anxiety. Think about your senses. So if you're feeling panicked or anxious in that moment, just think about 5 things that you can see. Look around you, list them, name them in your mind. Look out the window, I see a tree. Look at the wall, I see a picture. Look at the floor, I see some carpet. Look over your shoulder, you see a door. Look down to your feet, you see your shoes. And then just open your ears and start to sense all the sounds around you. List 5 of them. The car on the road, people talking around you, The sound of birds outside your window. The sound of your stomach rumbling because you're ready for lunch. Any other sounds that you can hear, just tune into them. List them out. Say what they are in your head, because that, again, is going to ground you and bring you back into the moment. And the final technique is gradual exposure. Those little comfort zone pushes that make you do those things that maybe your mind is saying, I don't want to do this, but it's going to help you to move forward. And don't think big leaps either, because they can be so terrifying that it sends you into a spiral of more anxiety. Think small little steps that you can take to move you towards where you want to be. So for example, maybe you've been invited to a party and the thought of going to a party fills you with absolute terror because you know there's going to be new people there. Maybe it's somewhere that you've not been to before, but just commit to spending a little bit of time. Tell yourself, I know I'm going to go to this party for 20 minutes. Set yourself a little timer. In fact, if it makes you feel better when you get to the party, go and stay. I'm really sorry I can't stay long, but I just wanted to be here. Do your 20 minutes. And if you feel like you're struggling, leave. Celebrate that success. But a lot of the time when you push yourself to do these little things, you find that actually you fly. So you might go for those 20 minutes and then end up staying for an hour, 2 hours, or maybe even till the end of the party. But the more you give yourself these little comfort zone pushes, the more things you're going to find that you're doing, things that you couldn't have imagined before, because you're pushing past that anxiety and you're not letting it take control and take over your life. So I'm here to help you. So just get started today by understanding what your anxiety triggers are and taking those small steps and celebrating those little victories along the way, because that's so important. Social anxiety can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to control your life. And just using these little techniques today are really going to help you to move forward. But consistency, again, is key. Keep doing them over time. Keep giving yourself those little pushes, and you'll notice that those small steps will lead to big leaps over time. So I'd love to hear your experience of using these techniques. Tell me what you thought about them kind of immediately and how you've used them. Tell me if you've used them over time and how they're really helping you with your social anxiety, because I love to hear your feedback and I love to read your comments.